Adventures of a Scribe, written by Deyhim, narrated by Kevin Mcalister. Chapter 1. "Edward Monteger!" my mother yelled. I winced at her harsh tone, knowing nothing good was about to happen. I stood up straight and smoothed out my shirt as she closed the shop door. "What were you thinking asking Priest Hendrik about his healing chance?" My siblings didn't even look at me before fleeing the room. I didn't say anything. It would just make the situation worse. I kept staring at the countertop as the silence stretched on. I finally glanced up and saw her glare. "I was just curious about how they work." "Edward, I understand you're curious, but you don't ask about skills like that." She shook her head, her eyes pinched shut under her furrowed brow. "At least it isn't as bad as asking for someone's status." She let out a small sigh and gazed away from me. "People are talking. We haven't lost any business yet, but we might." "I won't. No. This time there will be consequences. For the next 10 days you will not attend the shop, but instead work at the chapel under Priest Hendrik." She paused for a moment to make sure I was following her words. "To learn respect." She usually put me to work around the shop as a punishment, but apparently this time around, she was hoping someone else would straighten me out. At least it was better than the beatings some of the other kids got. "But my studies! I'm almost done with the Alsarian tome, and it's leaving in 3 days!" I tried to not sound like I was whining, but couldn't she see this was more important than scrubbing floors or running around doing some other mundane task? With my parents being scribes, I often read manuscripts waiting to be picked up while operating the counter. I really wanted to finish this manuscript, since it described why chants were necessary for progressing skills. It was one of the few books I had found that broached the topic. "You should have thought of that before you caused so many problems. That's why it is a punishment. Next time it will be for 3 10 days. It was so unfair. I clenched my jaw so I wouldn't cry. There was so much to learn, and my mother just didn't understand. She continued on in my silence. "You start at dawn tomorrow, and we'll work till sunset, or when Priest Hendrik dismisses you. Do you understand?" "Yes, Mother," I agreed quietly. I knew from past experience that arguing would only make things worse.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?